This is the Surly Grognards for September 23rd, 2014. This is Peter Bowman, and as usual, and for the 99th time, I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Eric Carlson. How are you doing tonight, Eric?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Of course you weren't. This is the 100th episode of the Surly Grognards, for which Eric has been here for 99% of them.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, holy crap, how did this happen?
This is weird.
So, yeah, when I started doing this, oh, God, 100 episodes ago, 99 episodes ago.
Thousands of years ago.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, and I barely understood what the fuck I was doing, and I don't really understand
We still really don't.
No, we really don't. I did not expect to even make it to 50 episodes, let's be honest here. I was hoping to, just it's sort of a way to kill time and do stuff, which is basically what it is still, but, I think early on I really planned to have more structure to the show than we ended up having. Very early on, we had very hard and fast topics, and I tried to plan out, specific questions to ask Eric or Jesse in the first episode, and so on and so forth. And I still jot down ideas for questions before the show starts, just so I've got things to ask Eric and keep things going. But it's turned more into sort of a natural conversation, really.
Yeah, more or less. It's just sort of rant at one another. Occasionally there'll be the vague inkling of a subject that we'll need to try to keep to. We won't, but we'll try.
Yeah, well, I'd say I'd say about maybe half the shows we've done, we've actually stuck to the topic for the whole show.
Yes.
Well, for most of the show.
For most of the show. I am involved. Let's be honest.
We're both involved, Eric.
Yeah.
Because digression is our watchword. Probably shouldn't be, but, At any rate, so, we don't really have a specific topic tonight, because, it wouldn't be us if we did, let's be honest. I mean, big milestone, and, of course, what do?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Forget about it until the night before.
About 20 minutes before.
Oh, God. Well, I actually spent most of today actually trying to think of a topic that would be worthy of a 100th episode.
Right. I had completely spaced and didn't...
Yeah. Well, we achieved about the same amount. So, who had the wiser plan? Probably Eric.
That's not a ring endorsement at all.
No, it isn't. Nope. So instead, we're going to talk about what we usually talk about: games, and I think we'll also talk a bit about the show and sort of where we've come from and where we are. I mean, I've done that a little bit at the beginning there, but
right.
So I have to say, Eric, what have you thought about? What are your thoughts on this sort of journey we've done from for 99 episodes for you?
It's really just a thing I do on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's just sort of like, I spend an hour talking with Eric about stuff on Tuesdays in front of an audience.
We have an audience, and that's about what it was, or what it's become. I will say, I'm largely over the minor stage fright I had at first.
Right. Yeah, I'd sort of gotten used to talking online in front of an audience a bit on someone else's stream, on Lord Cat's stream.
Right.
So, and I'd been running role-playing games online for an audience too, so I kind of got used to that already. But not quite. I hadn't really started doing a show at that point. And, I think we have gotten better, I'd say.
Okay. I don't go back and look at our old work, so I really don't have any way to judge or critique ourselves.
Right now I haven't gotten all the old stuff uploaded to YouTube yet, and the blip stuff's blip is being blip.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, a while ago, Blip basically decided to, they decided that they were changing their focus. We don't get enough views to merit being ignored because we're not sort of Blip's sort of general
right
thing. So they canceled my Blip account, and I've been slowly migrating stuff over to YouTube, but that took time, and I'd forget, and I'm an idiot. So, yeah. There's a bunch of old stuff that hasn't made it over yet. I think I have most of what's missing on my old computer, and I just need to extract the hard drive from that and copy and install, put it in the new computer and pull stuff off of it. But that's like work.
Yeah.
Had to dig out of my closet, open the case up, take the hard drive out, open the case in this computer up, put the hard drive in, hook the hard drive up, make sure I've got an extra SATA cord, blah 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 blah. Ugh.
Right.
But do know I will be uploading all the old stuff, and I should be able to recover a bunch of the old role playing game stuff too. That I think most of that's on the old computer.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, it still kind of like makes me. I still get like the Sparta Jerusalem discovering he's on TV and needing the caribou eyes every time I find our stuff online in random places.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, yeah. Eat your caribou eyes, Eric.
Oh my god! But yeah, I thought about trying to do sort of like going over some of the old topics, sort of talking about some of the things we've talked about, some of our favorite things. But we've talked about so many random stuff, and I can't remember all the stuff we've done.
Yeah,
I have a sort of a log of the episode topics, but that doesn't get everything we've talked about. It's sort of just got what the topics are, which doesn't mean a whole lot for us.
Which doesn't, it doesn't translate very well, because because one of our few list shows where it's like our top 5 favorite beers, and I'll go on to a tangent about like geopolitical theory in the Star Wars universe.
Right, because God help us if we actually stick to a topic.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but I did want to talk a little bit about sort of some of the things that we sort of. Is there anything that sort of sticks out to you, Eric, that you remember being a particularly fun thing we talked about? I'm just sort of curious.
There's the whole like fake geek girl thing.
Right.
Which was a completely new thing that I had no idea, and I was giving way too much credit to the people making the accusations, because I assumed that they were reasoning human beings.
On the internet?
And I was very wrong.
Yeah, you were.
I gave them way too much credit, and like after the show, and I did some more research, and I read some more stuff, and I came to the conclusion that, wow, I totally went to bat for you guys, and you did not deserve it.
No.
I need to research shit more.
Yeah,
like that was clearly a case of Eric not doing his homework.
And I will say this, you didn't go to bat strongly for them, let's just put it that way.
No, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt was what it was. Which, in that case, I consider being way too strong going to bat for them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God.
So, yeah, that was my biggest mistake. That you know of.
Yeah, I'd say we've had some fun. We've had a lot of fun with some of the shows, but
I actually kind of liked our favorite villain one.
That was a lot of fun, actually.
That was a lot of fun. The book one was good too.
Yeah, the book one was really good. The thing I liked about the favorite villain one is just I hadn't thought of that one moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of I didn't consider that one back and forth, and of course we both chose Darth fucking Vader because it's Darth fucking Vader.
Yeah,
fucking is actually his middle name.
Technically no, but sure.
No, it was legally changed. In Star Wars doesn't use star dates.
They don't use. We have no idea what years anything are, Eric, because they don't do that.
Yeah, they're like, then time happened.
Because, actually assigning dates to things is like the devil.
Yeah, it's unnecessary, honestly.
Yeah, for the most part. But yeah, I did really enjoy that show. That was a good one. Honestly, most of our list shows have been somewhat interesting to do. The Fantasy Races one was pretty good also.
Yeah. Or just largely being about, like, orcs are awesome. We do tend to have more memorable shows when we actually stick to a topic.
We do. That's largely because, honestly, all our shows about the specific, like, our some of our favorite sci-fi series went very well too. I think went very well too, because we stuck to that. We were sticking to that, like, and when we talked about Star Wars, the Star Trek episode, the Babylon 5 Farscape episode, the Doctor Who episode. God, we're nerds.
I never would have figured that.
Yeah.
How dare you? I'm not a nerd. I'm a geek.
Yeah, I'm both.
I have no marketable skills.
So yeah, I have to say, I do think I think we've given some good advice here and there, interspersed with the random bullshit.
Yeah, we've sort of largely dropped the gaming topic, sticking to gaming in general, and expanded it to include the whole of nerdosity.
Yeah, gaming is still our focus primarily, but
yeah, we try to tie everything back to gaming eventually.
Also, honestly, we're two big gamer nerds. Let's be honest.
Name an RPG if I haven't played it, I've at least heard of it.
For the most part, yeah. There are a few that there are a bunch of indie ones that I'm certain I've missed.
Yeah. Those little pamphlet RPGs that occasionally show up on the shelves of, like, Pandemonium.
There are a bunch of independently published ones that are even actually are full-fledged books that you occasionally see. It's just that they don't. I look like, oh, interesting. Know nothing about it.
Yeah, that's a neat idea. All flesh must be eaten immediately leaps to mind as that, because I went, oh, that's a neat idea.
Yeah.
And on to whatever else I was doing.
Right. Yeah, I am So yeah, we are. Again, this is sort of tricky because we didn't really have a topic, but
When do we ever?
As I said, at least half the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have a topic more than half the time. It's just we're half-assing it.
Yeah,
most of the time
we're totally half-assing it. Maybe a quarter-assing it sometimes. This is definitely a quarter-ass show.
Oh God, yes. If that.
22% ass.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Sort of perched on the edge of the chair,
Psycho Guy mentions by Elf Rants.
Yeah, well, those are
frequent and yeah, they're frequent. Because fuck those guys.
Oh, and I know for a fact that you've gotten me sputtering on a few things. I just don't remember. I don't remember the specifics.
Probably something I mentioned offhand after the third bourbon. More to see if I could get you sputtering than anything else.
Because I've had a few rants also.
Yeah.
I've forgotten most of them, honestly. I'm certain some of them have to do with the Star Wars Expanded Universe, because,
Yeah, almost certainly. Objectivism is a fine philosophy for life and government.
See, Eric, if I didn't know you, I would have to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, I guess, I do have to ask, I do have another question for you. It's not really tied into anything particular, but...
Okay.
I gotta say, so just so you know, I have to. This is one of those things that sort of, what is it? I mean, it's something that I'm not sure I can answer myself. But what is it you love about gaming, just in general?
Oh, Jesus, fucking! I need more drink. I need more alcohol before I can answer that one.
Oh my God!
Because it's not just like RPGs that I enjoy or any particular. I pretty much just like games.
Right, exactly. And it's
like there are definitely some games I enjoy much more than others, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, like role playing games
are fun.
Yeah, games are fun. I mean, a large part of its games are fun, but I mean, I think, honestly, I think a good portion of it is, for, nerdy guys like us, it's a really good way to, actually interact socially with other people.
There is that, and I will say I learned more about social interaction through tabletop role playing than I ever did by going to school.
Yeah, I definitely would be much less outgoing than I am, which is a scary concept.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that because you seem fairly jovial and outgoing when I see you, but that's also almost always in like a comfortable place. Like I don't think I've ever hung out with you like at a party or a bar.
Well, that's because I don't go to bars and I detest parties.
Right. I like bars when they're almost empty. Bars are awesome when, like, in the last hour before closing or before the crowds show up. Bars are great that way. Or on off nights. But I hate them on, like, Saturday or Friday night. Or when college kids decide to show up. That's not just because I used to bounce. I hated them before. I hated doing that before, but, like, I gotta tell you, I gained a new appreciation for how stupid college kids are as a bouncer. And even as a college kid, I knew how stupid we were.
Oh, God. But yeah, no,
That's the old fogey.
Yeah. Talk to me about it. But yeah, no, I'm not really that social a guy. I mean, I like social interactions. I like hanging out with people in small groups.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely agree. The small group is key. About for me, it's about like 5 to 10 people.
Yeah.
More than that, I'm going to need a lot of alcohol.
Like I've occasionally will get together with my friend Peter Shaw. Occasionally hosts board game days, at his place on like long weekends, and I'll go to those. And that gets up to like around 10 to 12 people, and that's sort of my limit. And it's
I gotcha.
It's sort of I don't mind especially since it's structured around we're playing board games and food and such. It's not like most other parties I've been to, which I usually just end up finding myself going, wow, I'm gonna guess I'll sit over here and yeah.
I do remember one party I went to a while back where everyone was, because it's Massachusetts, everyone was in the fucking kitchen. There was like 30 people there. I knew like between 12 and 15 of them, so I wasn't that uncomfortable, but it was just so fucking crowded in the kitchen. So I went, you know what? Fuck this. I grabbed the bottle of bourbon and I went into the living room and I sat down. And about 10 minutes later, I had managed to drag half the party with me as people went, where did Eric go?
But I remember. I mean, I do go to occasionally to parties, but it's just fairly rare.
Yeah.
Like I remember the party our friend Dan held for after his wedding.
Yes.
I remember.
I was rather surprised to see you there, honestly.
Well, yeah. I spent a lot of that sort of off somewhere, in small groups occasionally.
Yeah. Oh, there was a fair amount of alcohol, and I find that's an excellent lifter of inhibitions for me.
I think I had a couple of beers.
Yeah. Well, you're not as much into the altered states as I might be.
No. I mean, I like beer. I like alcohol. There are a lot of alcoholic beverages I like to drink, but I don't like actually getting drunk or even being tipsy.
Yeah. We actually just had this conversation last night.
We did, yes.
When Sam brought by the half decent whiskey.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I had some.
It was good whiskey. I enjoyed it. I was also running a game, so I wasn't going to overindulge. Also, it's friggin' Monday night.
Right.
Like, I had work I've got work tomorrow. I'm not getting that drunk.
Right.
If at all.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. I mean, it's interesting because Sam's a new member of the Monday Night crew,
right?
Because our friend Will moved to California, and Sam joined up, and great guy,
yeah, really good guy.
He's been bringing booze because he likes having a drink or so when gaming. No problem with that. But he's been making mixed drinks. I'm sitting there going, ask me like what mixed drink. I'm sitting there going, but I don't really drink mixed drinks.
I usually don't either. Like I prefer my alcohol straight, but yeah, no, I'll do the occasional like mint julep or whiskey sour or kamikaze, but I don't think he's brought makings for a kamikaze, but. Also, if the whiskey's good enough, you don't really need to mix it with anything.
I would agree with that, honestly. Although, I will admit whiskey sours are not bad.
Yeah.
I'm okay with those. But yeah, like, sort of the extent of my mixed drinks are, like, whiskey and soda. Gin and tonic. Oh, the gin and tonic.
The gin and tonic. Screwdrivers are pretty good.
They're okay. I'd rather just have the orange. I'd rather just have the orange. I'd rather just have the orange juice. Why pollute it with foul vodka?
Hey, vodka can be good shit if you get it. If you get the good stuff, vodka can be good shit.
I've had the good stuff. I don't like it. Just not my thing.
Then you just don't like things that are good.
I think you disagree. I think you don't. That's incorrect, Eric, because we have similar taste in Scotch.
Yes, but you dislike Yes, but you like things for the wrong reasons.
Oh my god! But yeah, yeah. So like the gin and tonic is the perfect example of a mixed drink for me.
Yeah, the martini, a good martini, a good dirty martini is entirely.
I prefer regular martinis to dirty ones, but
well, again, you don't like things that are good.
the olive juice sort of.
How dare you have an opinion different from mine?
But at any rate, the interesting thing about the gin and tonic is I hate straight gin with a blinding passion. I think it's vile, wretched stuff. And tonic water's gross. But mixed together, I really like it. I don't understand why.
Gin just tastes too much like Christmas to me.
I like aquavit, which is sort of similar but less awful. I don't know what it is. I guess it's a Swede in me, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be. But, yeah, I guess I really enjoy stories and narratives in general.
Yep.
So getting that in games is something I really like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason we both love role-playing games. I think.
Role-playing games are basically collaborative storytelling with dice mechanics to help build tension, which is pretty much why I fell so in love with them.
Yeah, I mean, I love stories, and I mean, I literally grew up. My dad read when I was like 4. My dad read The Hobbit to me. I mean, and then when I was like 5 and 6, he read The Lord of the Rings to me.
That's pretty awesome.
And so I was done at that point. All hope was lost. And so I love stories like that. I love a good fantasy story. I love good science fiction. I love telling stories like that. I'm not a good writer.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm a much more visual person.
But I'm not even that either. But
Yeah.
I'm an okay storyteller, and I'm a sort of an okay improv actor, an okay actor overall. I did a little bit of acting in high school and such, but actually I didn't really do it in high school. I did
The memorization killed me when I tried acting.
Yeah, I can do it. It's just more work than I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, But yeah, so I did a little bit of acting when I was younger, and I that's what I love about role playing games is I like being able to although I do have to say I've as I've gotten older I found I actually do a little bit less actual role playing when I'm game mastering these days, which is interesting.
Yeah, you tend to do more narrative stuff. Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, the narrative I the problem is I'm better at the narrative than I am at the dialogue. Honestly, that's a large part of it. Mostly because it's I've got to juggle how many characters because I'm game mastering.
Right. Keeping them all straight can be difficult.
It is.
Yeah, trust me, I
know. I wish I could. I wish I was better at it. I mean, I work. I've just. It's also I've fallen out of the habit.
Right.
I try to. I try to do it more than I like to do it more. I'd like to do it more than I do. But
yeah, I try to work on my prose for important scenes, which I don't think I'm always successful at least not as successful as I'd like to be. Like describing the Infernal from last night's game.
You did a really good job with that one.
Thank you.
You're better at the macabre and horror stuff.
But surprise there.
Literally no shocks there whatsoever.
Good testeries. I haven't been in love with those since I was 3.
Out of curiosity, Eric, I have to ask you, since you played with me in a bunch of games as the Game Master,
right?
What would you say my biggest strength is, as sort of in terms of the narrative and descriptions and stuff?
Your flexibility, honestly.
Okay.
You do everything. You do some things better than others, though I can't think of examples off the top of my head. But you're good enough at everything that you don't really have any glaring holes. And I've noticed you change things slightly on the fly, even mid-scene, to better suit the action, which I can't do.
Well, that's I will say that's the large chunk of experience. That's the thing. I've been game mastering for, God, honestly, since I was 10.
Damn.
Because I had some friends. We were playing. We wanted to play D&D, and I was the only one who was willing to. I was the one who was volunteered to game master, and we had fun. And and they basically, the next game we did, and it's like, hey Peter, you want to run the next game? I'm like, sure, why not?
Okay.
And it turns out.
Trying to imagine you 10 is just you shorter with a thicker beard. Don't ask me why the beard is thicker, but it is.
Okay, you ready for the mind screw, Eric?
Sure.
When I was a kid, I had straight blonde hair.
I can believe that. I can totally believe that, because every one of my siblings had blonde hair growing up.
I think it's a Swedish thing.
Yeah, it's just like not blonde, like friggin' like anime Bishuden protagonist platinum blonde.
Yeah, no, that was me.
Yeah.
I now have curly brown hair.
My hair has gotten much darker.
Yeah, and my beard.
That you can see, which is on my face.
That's the really weird thing is my beard is faintly reddish.
Yeah, you've got a fairly red beard.
I don't get. By the way, that's a really Swedish thing.
Mine's more the color of sodden, dirty straw. He says, looking at his beard, which is long enough I could just pick it up and look at it.
I can see the tips of it if I push it up towards my chin. But mine's not as long as yours is.
Nah, I've got like 6 inches on this thing.
Right, but yeah. But yeah, I definitely think that's why we both got into role playing. It's just we love the narrative structure. Honestly, we love the narratives, and we love the improvisation and the random element to it too. As frustrating as the random element can be.
Yes.
Oh lordy, can the dice just drive you fucking insane?
I like using miniatures in there because I also enjoy the tactical aspect.
Uh-huh.
Game mastering, I find myself making more intentional mistakes because I'm role playing someone as opposed to.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it all the fucking time.
Like I knew the right thing to do last night. For example, last night they were fighting an infernalist who would summon a giant, horrible monstrosity, and I knew the thing to do at the end of the fight was for him to back up and have the infernal back up with him and engage the two melee monsters, and just dump a bunch of spells into locking them down. But I decided he was kind of enraged, particularly at you, Peter.
What? Why?
So I sent the infernal. At you guys, and him being all arrogant and hubristic, figured he could take the two melee monsters. It was a clear tactical error.
Oh God,
I knew this when I was doing it. Especially because Chris went, "What? What? Really? You should. Okay." Like I could see Chris like do the calculation and said that was not what I was afraid of. Excellent.
Yep. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I found I do really enjoy games that sort of the map and tactical miniatures stuff for combat a lot.
Yeah.
Though there are a few games where I'm more than happy to ditch that, and
it does not belong anywhere near Feng Shui.
I would agree with that for the most part.
By the way, I'm kind of excited for the alternate Feng Shui game.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be, since Eric needs a break, and we got a new player, and I sort of, the sci-fi magic game thing, the sci-fi fantasy game thing that I threw together was a remarkably thrown together game.
Yeah.
You basically mentioned Feng Shui, and I'm like, well, of course I can run that. And Sam was like, ooh, I love Feng Shui. And I'm like, wait, what?
And then Hannah walked in the room and was like, I heard you Feng Shui.
And Leon was like, well, I've got a character class I always wanted to play. And like, okay.
Right.
Chris is like, well, I guess so.
Chris was like, I don't want to do Feng Shui, but everyone else does, so okay.
He's played it exactly once.
Yeah.
Kaz mentions that I played chess also. Yeah, that I did. I play. I played a lot of chess. I actually played chess fairly heavily for a while.
I haven't played chess in a very long time.
I haven't either, and
basically when I discovered you can paint little figures and then march them across the table and fight like...
It's been less long for me. I haven't played much. I played very little since college. I played a lot in college.
Yeah, once I discovered miniature wargaming, chess very much fell by the wayside because while you can get some very visually striking chess sets, things get much more dynamic and unpredictable in a miniature war game because there are dice involved.
Yeah, and that's one of the many reasons I do love chess is that the no random element. Dill Page, it'll be the old version of Feng Shui since the new version is not out yet, and I'm not a playtester.
Right. Also, I'm going to be playing as stoner cybernetic gorilla from the future named Tommy Kong.
Oh boy.
I just need to convince someone to play another one named Cheech Marmoset.
Eric, I already have a notion for. I have a plot already for the game.
Oh, excellent.
Well, for the first adventure.
Right.
No idea where it'll spiral from there because it's Feng Shui, and
because it's Feng Shui, and
who knows?
If nothing else, the crew we're playing with are liable to throw a spanner and things.
I've got no hopes. I've got no plan. I'm not going to plan an arc for this yet because I have no idea. I don't even know what everyone's characters are going to be yet. So,
we've got a misunderstood quotation mark sorcerer,
possibly yes. That's
a cyber gorilla, and that's about what we know.
Yeah.
Hannah was making sounds about making like a John Constantine type character, but yeah.
But yeah, Feng Shui is, as we've mentioned, I don't know, about 30, 40, 50, 60 times in the show, one of our favorites. Uh,
Yeah.
It's so absurd. I love the game. I actually brought it.
It's a fun. That game never ceases to be fun.
Yeah, that's sort of my thing with it.
Like a concept or a campaign might run its length,
Right.
but it never stops being fun. You can always just scrap it and start anew in it. And, yeah,
I've told you about the concept I've had for a convention feng shui game, right?
Mm.
Okay, so
you have.
Okay, so I think I've mentioned this at one point, but I want to go over it again, just because it's a fun one. It only really works at a convention, but so with pre-gen characters, and so you basically hand out the pre-gen characters, and every character has a little envelope with the secret.
Mm.
Each character has a little secret motivation, what have you, etc. But something they're supposed to keep secret. And the characters are all a group of people who've been brought together to do a job by, let's say, let's pick a name. I don't know. Oh, just something easy, Kaiser Soze or something like that. We'll go with Kaiser Soze because it's appropriate for this. Because
right.
So if you haven't seen the movie The Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze is this immensely powerful gang boss who is was viewed with terror in the criminal underworld. And he basically brings together this group of crooks to steal something for him. And basically blackmails them all with secret. Basically, they're all basically being blackmailed into it, also to a certain degree. That's not necessary for this game. And they're all people who transgressed. Basically, they've all transgressed against him at some point, knowing or unknowing. Usually unknowing. And so they basically say, "You're going through this job to make it up to me, otherwise I'll have you killed."
Right.
And so it's something similar to that. The important is that one of the players' secrets. So the players all have secrets, like you want to steal, you want to acquire this thing for yourself, or what have you. One of the guy's envelopes will say, in fact, it will say in it, "You are Kaiser Soze."
Awesome.
So their goal is to make sure the job goes off and to eliminate the other players as many of the other players as possible as things go along, without tipping off that they're Kaiser Soze. Their goal is to win, basically.
Right.
But actively like shooting another player to kill them, will tip your hand. You're not allowed to do that. At least not in view of the other players. Other characters.
How do you shoot the devil in the back? What if you miss?
But yeah, I've never really sat down and tried to work out exactly how I'd pull it off, but it's a concept I think would be really awesome.
Yeah. There's a certain kind of crew that you need to do for that one, and I'm not sure how well the Monday crew would handle it.
Oh, I would know. It's something I definitely would want to do at a convention. I wouldn't want to do it with the normal group of players.
If only because, yeah, I'm not sure how well the Monday crew would handle it. I know some people would take to it like a fish to water, and some people would feel betrayed, and some people would think the idea is awesome. I have no idea how to handle it.
Right. I love the idea, but I have no idea if I'll ever be able to pull it off.
Right.
Oh my god.
Great idea.
I'm glad you think so. So, yeah, that's my crazy idea that I've been nursing for ever since I've discovered feng shui and after I'd watched The Usual Suspects in some order. I don't remember which happened first.
If you haven't seen The Usual Suspects, go watch The Usual Suspects.
Oh, please do. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. So yeah, we are. God damn it! I still can't get over the fact this is the 100th episode. I can't.
Wait a minute, Psycho Guy, chess got banned in your library?
What?
How does that even fucking happen?
Oh, chess. Oh, yeah.
How does that happen?
People getting too excited.
Like... You're not playing Russian roulette, are you? But with chess? Because, one, how would that work? Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so apparently...
And 3, you can only play Russian roulette in back alley bars in, like, the steaming Congo or Southeast Asia. Go watch The Deer Hunter. It's a good movie. Was that from The Deer Hunter, or was that from Apocalypse Now?
Deer Hunter.
Okay.
The scene you're thinking of is from Deer Hunter.
Okay.
But apparently people got too excited and cheering during chess in the library and got banned for Psycho Guy. Cool!
That is awesome!
I agree completely. Oh, God. So, for lack of anything better to talk about, I do want to ask you, Eric, have you seen this week's Doctor Who?
I did, actually. I made a point of watching it.
It was solid.
Because I watched both last week's and this week's together. I'm trying to remember.
This week's was the time heist.
Right, yes. I called it about halfway through what the twist was.
Well, duh.
I mean, I had an inkling as to what it was, like, right from the
get-go.
But it was like... Yeah, I was like, no, it's clearly what this is.
It was, I would say, it was a flawed episode. It really could have stood to have been longer.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been a two-parter. It could have used more time to, develop the side characters.
Yeah,
so you actually
so you actually give a shit when they
disappear.
Things go down.
Yeah. It's like dramatic tension involving this character. Okay.
Well, dramatic tension involving this character. So they're either going to betray you or make a sacrifice. Right about now.
And we hardly know who they are, so
yeah.
Yay. Like, that was an episode that really could have stood the old format, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least be a two-parter in the new format. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but it was definitely flawed. I should say, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. I wouldn't say it was like the bestest thing ever, but...
It wasn't even a particularly good episode, but it was fun.
Last week's was pretty good, too.
Yes,
like
yes
that
it was.
That was an excellent bit of psychological horror.
That was a good episode. I have to say, I'm adoring Capaldi.
Yeah, Capaldi's pretty awesome.
I will say he is by and far at this point my favorite of the new series Doctors. It's like not even close.
I'm going to give him a bit more time because he could still drop the ball, but yeah, he's pretty kick-ass
so far.
Yeah,
that's always something to change. That's a given.
I mean, and Tenet was pretty awesome up until like the second season.
He was good, but again,
he was. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, even ignoring the writing, I'm really enjoying Capaldi's performances, and
yes. I'm really enjoying the little, like, I'm liking Clara a lot more in this season. She feels like a more developed character.
Yes.
And the dynamic between her and the Doctor is much more interesting.
I would agree. Is that
what I look like from behind? It looks fine. I thought it looked great. Really? That was a great scene.
It was. Oh, God. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Capaldi. It's fun seeing him. There are times you can tell he desperately wants to swear, and specifically, there are times you can see he wants to use some variation of the word "fuck."
Yes,
and is basically like trying not to. The outtakes for
so want like a swearing doctor though. I want a foul mouthed doctor at some point.
Not going to happen. Well, it's not going to happen. Definitively, it's a kids show, Eric.
Yeah, I know.
That's the best thing. This is a kids show. It's what it was originally intended to be, and it's basically what it is. But yeah, I want to see the outtakes just because it'll be epic. Much the same way that if you catch any of the outtakes of Tom Baker's run.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh wow, there are a lot of like outtakes with him just like swearing up a storm. They're hilarious. Oh my God. But yeah, So yeah, I've been enjoying Doctor Who, of course, because we love Doctor Who. We both love Doctor Who.
Doctor Who's pretty awesome.
Um,
or terrible, but it's always kind of awesome when it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's kind of like pizza.
No, bad pizza's never good.
I would argue that simply because pizza's almost always edible. Said almost. I've eaten some really terrible things.
You would think that bread plus tomato sauce plus cheese would be almost impossible, and then baked would be almost impossible to screw up.
Yeah.
You would be wrong.
You can do it. You can do it. I've had some really, really terrible pizza.
I have too.
Usually at 4 a.m. Usually at 4 a.m. after the clubs are out and college is in session. So, because
yeah.
they know they can just like quarter-ass it, like we're doing with this show.
Yeah. God. Oh boy. So yeah. Trying to think of what else to talk about in particular. I mean, anything else strike you off the top of your head that we've covered over the past 2 years? That 2 years. What the hell? How?
The fact that it's been 2 years.
Holy fucking crap!
Like, yeah.
How did this happen?
That's a really good question. And like, that, no.
I mean, we've taken weeks off here and there, or longer, a few times.
Yeah.
Usually due to technical problems, often on my end, with a headset of mine dying or something like that. But yeah, we've managed to truck along for 100 episodes now, and talking about nothing, really. I mean, technically we've had topics, but
not really.
I mean, this is almost like the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Yeah.
Except not nearly as funny.
The writing isn't as good.
No.
Because we don't have a Newman.
No. And neither of us remotely have the comic chops of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
None of us have gotten booed off a stage for making racist jokes.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that's a plus in our favor.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Seinfeld, this is a random aside. Shocking, I know. I was surfing through. I was watching something on YouTube. I was watching a clip from some stand-up routine. I forget which one. And there was in the related videos thing. There was this thing that was done on HBO, and someone had uploaded to YouTube because because people do this.
Right.
And it was effectively a roundtable. It was Ricky Gervais, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. sitting down on easy chairs, sitting around talking about stand-up comedy.
Okay.
And it was amazing. It was 45 minutes of them talking about doing stand-up, and it was fascinating. Just about how they how they approach various things, and if you can track it down, oh my god, it's brilliant. Cool. It's just sitting there watching these four immensely talented and funny people sitting there talking about the actual sort of work of doing stand-up comedy and the business was just fascinating, and made me really wish I was even 1/20th as funny as any of them, because I'm not. Oh god, I'm not a very very funny person. I appreciate comedy, but, you know...
Yeah, no, I enjoy comedy, but my comedy tends to fall flat or get looks.
I play the straight man fairly well. I'm good at pointing out irony, but that's sort of the extent of it. Although I did stumble...
The ironing is delicious. You mean irony.
I did stumble across... I was looking on... I was talking with somebody about... something. I forget what. Some people were sort of joking about, like, the whole never Google yourself thing.
Mm.
And I was happened to have TV Tropes open, so I decided, well, what will happen if I type Mecha Jim into TV Tropes? I mean, I have the, there's someone made a TV Tropes page for the Shadowland campaign. I was like, okay, let's see if anything other than that shows up, because, haha, it won't. It did. There was a reference to me on Lord Cat's TV Tropes page. Let me see if I can dig this up, because I was caught completely off guard by it. Let's see, TV Tropes. Yeah, we are, by the way, we're in the weeds right now. We're for the show, but you know.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I don't want to be a weed.
No, we're in the weeds. We're not the weeds.
Oh, okay.
So, right. So this is in a section talking about okay, this takes a little bit of background. A long time ago, this probably about 3 or 4 years now at this point. I was on stream with Lord Cat. We were talking, and at this point, sort of people had recognized that I've been role playing a long time, and I know a lot about role playing games and such. And some people in Lord Cat's chat asked me, "What is the worst role playing game ever?"
Oh yes.
And so I said, okay, let me preface this by saying, I will tell you what it is, but do not go look this up. Do not find a copy of it and read it. You will regret it. The least awful thing to do would be go to RPG.net and read the review of it there. But you don't want to do that either. And then I said, if you ignore my warnings and go off and do it, I will not feel sorry for you because I warned you. And if you say otherwise, I will laugh at you. So the system in question is Fatal. Now, what I've just said there, and these are what my preface warning, applies to the people watching live or listening to the recording. Do not go research Fatal. You do not want to. It is not good. This is not me basically trying to goad you into doing something painful. This is me saying, this is me actually legitimately warning you. You don't want to read this. Okay, that out of the way. So, of course, Lord Cat being Lord Cat, did.
Immediately.
Because this is who he is, and I expected that. And, of course, other people in chat did, and they all were crying and hated me for this, but it's not my fault, I tell you. It's not my goddamn fault. But so, a while later, Jason, Lord Cat, demanded that I join him to make a Fatal character on stream with him. To roll one up also with him, alongside him. And we roped Skitch and Lord Cat's friend Sable into it also. There is a recording of this 3 hours of rolling up a character in Fatal, because it took that long, on YouTube. You can find it. So, at any rate, I will read off the little entries on this episode from TV Tropes. After nearly an hour of creating characters in Fatal, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a milestone. We can now determine our character's name. Where the hell is Appendix 7? Jason responds to the insane quadratic formula for creating characters. A perfectly plain of, I don't want to solve for X. At this point, here comes my first mention in here, which is pretty much anything said by Mecha Jib throughout, both because he plays a straight man to everyone else involved, and because he was the unwitting instigator of doom for the whole incident. A fact which the chat room is bound and determined to rub in his face. People asked him what the worst RPG of all time was. He said, Fatal, and take my word for it, don't look it up or you'll be sorry. A fact which the chat room was bound and determined to rub. It's like, I don't know why. It's like, I warned them. And then the very first line of the video, Lord K, hey Peter, want to play a game of Fatal? My response, I'll kill you. At one point, after another complaint from Mecha GM, Sable gets in this classic response, shut up and roll your areola.
Roll your areola.
You roll. There's a table to determine the size of your areola among every other thing on your body.
I've forgotten about that. I want mine to be the size of dinner plates. I want my areola to just take up my entire chest.
Oh, God. Lord Catlin sort of skill checks for comedy and sees that if you roll badly enough for the buffoonery skill, you can kill someone. Sable announces that per the game's morality system, he's self-centered and values his own pleasure above any normal social standards or morality. Sable, so I'm a douchebag. Skitch, actually you're the creator of this game. Sable, how about you shut your whore mouth? That's the biggest insult you could have given me, Skitch. And yes, Darful Wolfmock in the chat mentions he you know what? I think the creator's proud of the book. He is, apparently. There are people who defend the system whenever the negative review is mentioned online. Fuck them. Fatal is the most offensive and offensively bad role-playing game I've ever seen. Do not read it. I beg you.
It's really, really good.
Ugh. Blech. But the video is hilarious. It's actually kind of funny to watch. It takes a while though. I don't think I'm as funny as the person who wrote this TV Tropes entry thought I was, but I had a couple of good moments.
I'll kill you.
Well,
shut up and roll your areola. Your areola.
Yeah, I ended up rolling. I was a subterranean troll, who were actually one of the few actually decent races. One of the few actually somewhat interesting races in the book. They're actually fairly smart. They have the closest thing to actual morality in their legal system. The punishment for rape is that the victim is allowed to punch the offender in the genitals until they are satisfied. Until they are satisfied that justice has been done.
I'm a little shocked that any species in Fable has a penalty for rape.
Yes, I was surprised by that.
I mean, it's kind of... I hate to say it, but it's kind of like it's kind of expected you're going to be doing some raping in Fable.
Yes, or being raped if you're female.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fatal's awful. Don't play it. Don't read it. It's ungood.
Yeah, it's really kind of... really terrible.
The mechanics are terrible, too. That's even the best... That's even the... It's just like... The worst part of the game isn't the fact that the mechanics are terrible. But it's just like... It's doubly insulting. It's like, wow, not only have you made this game that is unbelievably offensive in almost every conceivable way, you wrote horrendous mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, one of my absolute favorite, like, there's a table with like 4 or 5 results on it where you roll D10 million. What the fuck?
Of course there is.
When you're generating your stats, you roll 10 die 100, divide by 5, and subtract 1.
Yeah, no, Fatal is bad, and you should feel bad for even considering its existence.
Oh my god. There are game designers I've complained about. I loathe most of John Wick's work, but John Wick is a saint.
What does John Wick do?
John Wick is the guy... okay, John Wick is... I've told you about this. He was a game master for a long time. He wrote a couple of articles about how he's been a good game master, about his game mastering, and how it's all right to punish your players, etc. Which is sort of true, but he takes it to degrees that are assholery.
Right.
And you can see evidence of that attitude in the games designed. First edition Legend of the Five Rings. I
haven't actually played First Edition Legend of the Five Rings.
He did a bunch of games for that company. Seventh Sea, etc.
Oh, Seventh Sea. That was a really good idea. That was really poorly executed.
Yes. But yeah, there are a lot of mechanics in all the games Wick has designed, where you sit there and you look. It looks like, oh, that's kind of a cool mechanic that the player can use to do cool things. But the second you try to use those mechanics to do cool things, you realize you give the GM advantage to screw you over later.
Yeah.
It's like, I see.
It's yeah.
I don't like John Wick's games, but Madman Oreo. No, it's not 4 die 100 minus 1 per stat. It's 10 die 100, divide by 5, then subtract 1. Because I hate my life.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with a mechanic where you can do something awesome, but you incur a debt of bad stuff effectively. As long there are certain only certain GMs I would trust with such a thing. Anyone that makes a habit of running Amber, I would trust with that. Simply because the whole concept of bad stuff is endemic in Amber.
Yeah. No, but that's a very different thing. It's hard to explain without actually looking at the rules, but there's just a lot of stuff in. I'm not a fan of John Wick. Let's just put it that way. But yeah. So yeah. God, terrible role-playing games. Fortunately, Eric and I will be playing in a good one on next Monday because we'll be playing Feng Shui.
Yes.
Which is a good fun system, where when you try to do something cool and awesome, you're rewarded for it.
Yes. Basically what I'm saying is I like the idea of having a resource for doing cool, awesome things.
Yes.
And borrowing against future installments of that resource.
Absolutely.
And if you incur too much of a debt, well then you start getting bad stuff.
But you see, the thing is that it's not that it punishes you in particular. You are handing basically in 7C you have what are called drama dice that you can roll to give yourself a bonus. Right. This gives the GM drama dice to use for the villains at any point.
Right.
Which means it doesn't necessarily affect you directly. The GM can use it for anybody.
Yeah, so yeah, that tends to incur interplayer problems. I can see the problem with that.
It's just a bunch of I don't know. It's just it doesn't. 7C has a bunch of other problems also, but I just always get irritated in games where reputatively it's about big damn heroes, and the game screws you over for trying to be big damn heroes.
Right.
That's a problem, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The core of the idea of an awesome resource that you can borrow against future installments of awesome resource to do awesome things, and incurring too much of a debt in your awesome will start netting you bad shit. I think those are the exact terms that should be used.
There are game styles where that can work.
It's probably too complex a system now I think about it. Requiring too much bookkeeping.
But honestly, in a game that's supposed to be a swashbuckling awesomeness.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't really fit, in my opinion. I don't know. But, I think we're out of steam, honestly.
Yeah.
We could ramble on about random stuff again, but, we've been talking for about an hour, and it's, I think it's time.
Yeah. I'm starting to lose focus.
Yeah.
I had focus to begin with. That's
right. At any rate, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who's been here for any of the 100 episodes of the show we've done.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for being there as viewers and listeners. To the live audiences, to the viewers online, to people who watch the recordings, we love you guys. If you think you know people who will enjoy the show, please let them know about it. We love getting more viewers. We love we love hearing from everybody. If you've got feedback for us, how we can make the show better. Or just explaining things you've enjoyed, anything like episodes in particular you've enjoyed, moments you've really liked. Let us know. We love to hear that stuff. You can email them to us. Our email address is surlygrognards@yahoo.com, or you can post them on our forums, which you can find at mechagm.forumer.com. If you've got show topic suggestions or questions you'd like us to answer, please feel free to send it to either email address or to post them in the forums. We love getting questions, show topic suggestions, and so on.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
So, yeah.
That's so awesome.
It really is. We do try to save time at the end of each show for viewer questions. We didn't get this week, and B, honestly, I want to just ramble on, talk with Eric for an hour or so. Nah. Even if we had them, I wouldn't have covered them this week. Unless we'd gotten really sort of in a dead spot. And I was like, well, we got to fill time somehow.
We could do... Yeah, when it was like 5 minutes of silence, we're like, Eric, what are you doing? Browsing Imager. Why are you browsing Imager? We're trying to do a show. Sorry, I forgot.
So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. It's been a long, strange trip. And hopefully we'll continue having fun doing this in future.
All the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most.
Indeed. So we'll be back.
Quoting rock stars.
Very different ones. Well, not actually that different, really.
Not technically, like from the musical theory point of view.
Right.
No, not really all that different. No, I guess not. Except one is awesome and the other is Jerry Garcia.
Don't you be dissing Garcia. I'm not a fan of the Dead, but Garcia was fucking amazing.
I got no love for the Dead, dude.
Me neither.
I have zero loves for the Dead, largely because they spawned fish, which I really, really hate.
I will say this. I will say this. Jerry Garcia is one of the all-time great rock guitarists. He really is. I don't like them. I don't like their stuff, the Dead stuff stylistically, but I've heard Garcia doing other stuff too. And he's amazing. He was amazing, and yeah, I'm not a fan of the Dead, weirdly. Although I do like "What a Long Straight Trip." That one's a good song. They have a couple, like almost.
Whoa, honestly.
Oh, it is. The Dead have a few actually really good songs. I
can believe it. They're prolific enough.
God, yeah.
But yeah, most of the stuff hasn't really clicked with me, and God, I fucking hate Fish.
Fish is one of those bands that they have songs I adore, and I love some of their studio stuff. But oh my God, I will never ever want to listen to them live. Oh.
There's an episode of South Park that pretty much sums up my opinion of Fish, where Fish is. Hippies have inundated South Park and started a gigantic music festival which covers 100 square miles. They hire Cartman to drive off the hippies. So what he does is he builds a giant drill machine to get through the hippie crowd. And Fish is playing, and everyone's being stupid because that's what happens when Fish gets played. People act like willfully ignorant fucktards that seem, not speaking from experience, having dealt with it in art school and all. But yeah, Cartman eventually gets to the stage and puts a Slayer CD on, and then everything's better.
Yeah, yeah, I'm enough of a music junkie that almost that I often find, like, even bands I detest, there's at least one song of theirs that I actually enjoy. There are plenty of bands where that's not true, but
yeah, like I'm not a big fan of folk music, but Tom Waits is awesome. I wouldn't know how to categorize him as anything other than folk.
Wait, yeah, I'm not sure I'd categorize it. Folk is about as good a bracket for him as possible.
He's a weird bird. Fucking hate country music on the whole, but Johnny Cash transcends it.
Johnny Cash was the man.
Johnny Cash is Johnny fucking Cash.
Yeah, he's the man. He was the man. That's all there is to it.
I don't think he's written a song I didn't like.
There's a lot of really good country out there. It's just that it's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
Or else it's Johnny Cash.
Or just solve for Johnny Cash is what you need to do. Yeah, there's a lot of terrible metal out there, but the metal that is out, that the good metal's really
I agree completely.
Good.
I'm not someone who likes metal, but
like
there's individual metal I really like.
Solve for Iron Maiden is what it boils down to.
I'll take
or Slayer, or Finn Troll, because I love my Finn Troll.
Of course you do.
They probably don't deserve to be held up there, but I'm going to anyway. Shut up, it's my show. It's my headcanon, shut up.
So anyways, guys, we probably could prattle on around about music for a while, but
yeah,
we should wrap the show up here. Thanks for watching again, guys. We record the show Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/MechaGM if you want to join us live. If you're listening to the recording on YouTube, please if you like the episode, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, please do. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Until we see you guys next, be happy, be safe, keep on gaming. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye, humans.